What up, friends, and welcome to the Ricardo Reports National Review, powered by Football University. I'm your official voice of youth and high school sports, Chad Ricardo, and on this show, weekly, we're going to be highlighting some of the top student athletes across the nation at all different levels. Before we go any further, though, I got to bring on my main man, of whom which none of this would be possible, Vice President of Player Development for the All-American Games, joining us on the phone, Steve Quinn.
Steve, thank you very much for joining us here today, brother. I think that we're going to do some really special things for the kids all across the nation.
I really think so as well. First of all, as always, Chad, I appreciate the relationship and the partnership with you and the Ricardo Report. It means a lot to us, and it's an extension of what we're doing out there, and you really act as a voice for us. So appreciate the professionalism and what you bring to the youth and high school world.
Oh, it's absolutely a blessing of mine. And when we speak about the All-American Games, you all really are an organization that does a ton for student athletes in a ton of different ways. I don't think that everybody knows exactly the connectivity between the different aspects of you all's organization. Will you talk to me about all of the things that you all do, all of the different properties?
Absolutely. It all started 18 years ago with the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. That's the granddaddy of it all. I was just telling my kids yesterday, we're in the office as we were walking around, and you've seen it as well. It tells the story of who we are and what we stand for. And so 18 years of the top kids playing in what I would call, and what I told my kids yesterday, the Super Bowl of high school football, the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. That's where it all starts for us and what really fuels our engine. And then, of course, our national combine all happens during the same week that the U.S. Army All-American Bowl happens. It's the day before the U.S. Army All-American game in the Alamo Dome. Top 600 players in the country, underclassmen, sophomores, and juniors that get an opportunity to be on our watch list for next year's U.S. Army All-American Bowl. And then, of course, our FBU camps. And that's where a lot of these kids first get introduced now to our other properties, is by coming to a regional camp like FBU. We have 22 of them across the country this year that will start in March of 2018. And that's where kids come and get to be better football players. We're not teaching X's and O's. We're teaching athletes how to be a better football player so that in August we can send those football players at all levels, from 5th grade through 11th grade, back to their middle schools, back to their high schools, better football players. And then, of course, about 25% of those athletes will get invited to our Top Gun camp in Rock Hill, South Carolina, where the top 750 middle school players and the top 750 high school players, as well as the top 100 kickers, punters, and long snappers, get to compete on a national level and really get an opportunity to see where they stand, not just in their region now, but now across the country. And it's a great first opportunity for middle school kids to get on a national platform. And for the high school kids, we named 3 U.S. Army All-Americans to our U.S. Army All-American Bowl this year. So that was very exciting, the first year that we've ever done that. And then, of course, as you know, Chad, our FBU National Championship Tournament, which has just taken off the last couple of years. We just signed a long-term contract with 11 Sports, where they're going to televise 9 games in Naples, Florida this year. All the 8th grade games, the 6th, 7th, 8th grade national championship games, the freshman All-American game powered by Adidas this year. I just saw the brand new uniforms for the freshman game, and they are outstanding.
Wow.
It's going to be Team Adi 0 against Team 3 Stripe, 40 of the best freshmen across the country. The link opens this week for nominations for the freshman game, so athletes can go on there and nominate themselves to be in what everybody knows is the biggest freshman game in the country. And so that's very exciting. And now tryouts are happening all over the country, Chad. Right now, as we speak, if you go to FBUNC.com, you get an opportunity to go see the tryouts and where you can go get on a team and get an opportunity to play in what everybody calls a Little League World Series of football. And it's so big now, Chad, that Naples, Florida is building us a stadium so that we can rival what Williamsport does in baseball. We'll have our own stadium in 2019 for these athletes to play in.
That is the path to Naples. Huge things on the horizon right now. Big things going down.
Yeah, big things going down, and it's very exciting. It's now our second biggest property, the path to Naples. And, with what they've done down there, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Sports Council, we're super excited. They're building an $80 million complex, not just for us, Chad, but, for tournaments all across the country to come down there. But we get an opportunity for 1 week out of the year to come down there and showcase the top 6th, 7th, and 8th grade players across the country. And as you know now, 11 Sports will be on there. 11 Sports is in 50 million cable homes across the country. And so there's going to be a lot of eyes on Naples, Florida this December 17th through the 21st.
As the people at home are listening to and watching you right now, they're thinking to themselves, how exactly do I get involved? How do I become a part of this? What is the best way to get on the radar to be able to be recognized and partake in these events?
The best way to start is by going to footballuniversity.org, footballfbu.net, either one of those sites, and create your profile so that we can then get your name into our database. We can have our player development scouts call the parents, talk to the athletes, and tell them how to get enrolled in our FBU camps. But of course, it starts by going and creating your profile. Very simple. And one of our player development scouts will give you a call to tell you exactly how you can become part of the Football University and All-American Games family.
Now, Steve, I'm going to get you out of here on this, brother. Me and you, we could sit around and we could talk about football and all of these exciting events for days and days because there is a ton of great information. But to me, one of the things that's most important about what you do, what the All-American Games do, is that you all genuinely care about these kids. You care about the student athletes. Talk to me about you all's values. Talk to me about your mission statement. Talk to me about what you're really looking to do.
I just know for what we stand for. Number one, having that badge of the U.S. Army on there. There's not a bigger boss in the country, and being able to have that integrity and that influence behind us. That certainly has always been a help. But we really stand for what we call our 4 pillars, and it really starts by helping kids succeed. You know, we want kids to not just succeed on the football field, but we want them to succeed off the football field. So we really are all about creating positive values for these athletes so that they can go back out into the community and help other kids out there. We want to build their self-confidence. We want to assist parents in the process that it is. If their son wants to play high school football, we want to assist them in getting to that level. If their son is looking to become a college athlete, we're looking to assist them at that level. And we're looking to give these athletes and these parents opportunities for advancement. And that's really all part of helping these kids succeed and helping them not just succeed on the football field, but in life. We know this by all of our player development guys across the country who are out there talking to recruiters. They're spending close to $250,000 if you're going to a Division I school. And they want to know if these athletes are not just good football players on the field, but what are they like off the field? Who are they hanging around with? What are their value systems? Are they leaders on and off the field? Do they get good grades? One of the things that separates us from any other camp company or any company out there that's doing sports in general is we really deliver that Disney experience, that wow factor. And we really are a world-class brand when it comes to that. And so it's important for us to deliver that customer experience in a positive way. All of our teammates, all of our staff across the country, because we have a huge network of staff, our goal is to have everybody contribute to that team, to helping those kids succeed. And really, at the end of the day, Chad, it's about a commitment to excellence. You know, we really talk about the 5 words of our excellence, and that's integrity, hard work, our dedication to detail, our commitment to learning, and our enthusiasm for the job. And if you've been to a camp or you've been to an event of All-American Games, I think that's what really separates us from anybody else out there, is we really have a commitment to excellence and helping kids succeed all across the country.
I could not agree with you more. Steve Quinn, thank you very much, brother.
Chad, always great to be on with you, and thank you for all you do for the kids across the country.
As much as he knows about youth and high school sports, that man cares just as much, if not more so, about the kids. Steve Quinn, he's a great guy. Footballuniversity.org for more information. Coming up, gonna show love to some of my people that I met out there at Top Gun in the form of Top Plays. And then we're headed out to the West Side to sit down and speak to Edwin Weathersby about some of our Army All-American Bowl commits. Keep it locked. It's the Ricardo Reports National Review.
Talent alone is not enough. Unlock your potential at Football University. Learn from our staff of NFL experienced coaches. Push your mental and physical abilities to their limits, both on the field and in the film room. Create your future. Visit footballuniversity.org. Football University. Technique plus talent beats talent alone.
The Ricardo Report's National Review, powered by Football University. As you heard from Steve Quinn, Top Gun is an excellent opportunity for student athletes. Want to throw some shine on a couple of young men that I met down in Rock Hill, South Carolina. This is Top Plays, Top Gun style.
Huge shout out to Christian Miller of South Carolina, who recently grabbed his first pick. This though, quarterback Brandon Aliata of Edison putting it up and his wide receiver bringing it in. If one-handed catch is good, then two must be better. Our good friend Hunter Grills puts this one up. Juice Man coming down with the left-handed grab.
Talent plus technique beats talent alone. Love to see those young men taking what they learned and executing on the football field. Time to take a trip out to the West Side. Regional Director of Player Development, my main man, Edwin Weathersby, joining us via satellite.
Edwin, thank you for joining us, brother. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Chad?
Man, I'm doing great. How's life out there on the West Side?
It's doing well. It's doing well. I'm out here staying classy in lovely San Diego, California right now.
Gotta love that. I'm going to be very envious in a couple of months here when it's cold over here on the East Coast.
I won't blame you.
Listen, bro, I want to get into it and speak with you about a couple of U.S. Army All-American Bowl commits. Is that all right with you?
That is totally fine, man.
Okay, I want to start with the quarterback position. All of the pretty boys out there, if you don't mind, coming from Long Beach Poly, speak to me about Matt Corral.
Matt is one of the best quarterbacks, not only on the West Coast, but in the country for the 2018 class. He's about 6'2", close to 200 pounds. He's got a quick release. He sees the field well. He has got a strong arm. He can move around in and out of the pocket a bit, attack the edges on rolls and sprints, and he can cause a little bit of damage with his legs, but he does his best as sitting in the pocket, scanning the field, making his reads, and pitching strikes with accuracy from the pocket. He's committed to Florida right now. Obviously, he made headlines a few months ago when he decommitted from USC, but he's fired up to play in the SEC now, and we're fired up to have him in the 2018 U.S. Army All-American Bowl.
We'll bring him over here to the Southeast on this side in our time zone over here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll love it.
Want to speak to another quarterback, staying on the quarterback position, Mr. J.T. Daniels. Now, you spoke about Corral decommitted from USC. Daniels is a USC commit, class of 2019. Talk to me about him.
JT is one of the, if not the best, junior quarterback prospect in the entire country. He comes from Mater Dei High School, which has produced a ton of quarterback talent, going all the way back to Matt Leinart to Matt Barkley and players in between there. He's about 6'2", 205. He's got a pretty strong arm. He's very accurate, but what sets him apart from other quarterbacks is how smart he is. He shows an excellent awareness, vision. He's the equivalent of a gym rat for football, and his smarts and what he can do with his mind is just off the charts.
Class of 2019, USC appears to be in good hands. Staying with the Trojans, the young man that could be snapping that young man the ball, Justin Dduk. What do you got?
Justin's from the Inland Empire area of Southern California, out of Chaparral High School. He is regarded as the best center prospect in the entire country. He stands about 6'2". He's pushing about 290 right now. He's a real thick kid. I spoke with his coach 2 weeks ago, and his coach told me he's probably the smartest offensive lineman he's ever coached.
Wow.
Justin does an excellent job at the pivot position, from reading fronts, setting protections. He can hop on a linebacker at the second level. He can anchor well. I think he's a fantastic center prospect, and USC is going to be in good hands with him.
Trojans are on the rise again. I want to stay out there and now switch over to the skill positions here. I've heard a ton about a young man by the name of Jalen Hall. Speak to me about him.
Jalen is another five-star prospect, and he is obviously from the same school, Long Beach Poly, that Matt Corral is from. And Long Beach Poly is one of the best, if not the best, high schools in the entire country to produce college and NFL football talent. Jalen's a big receiver. He's about 6'4", about 195 pounds. So he looks great on the hoof. He's got long arms. He's a physical specimen. He's got great body quickness, good speed. He just looks like that prototypical number one type wide receiver on the outside. I was at a 7-on-7 event earlier this year, and they threw him a fade route, and his leaping skills and things like that look like an NBA player. He's tall and long, and he can just high punt the ball with the best of anybody in the nation.
A young man that attacks the ball at its highest point. I definitely agree with you on that with Jalen Hall. I want to speak to you about one of the top athletes in the entire class of 2018. Some say that this man is the fastest guy in the country. I'm talking about Isaac Taylor Stewart. What do you got on him?
Isaac is out of San Diego in the Helix High School program, which produced Reggie Bush and Alex Smith. He stands about 6'1", 6'2", about 195 pounds. I saw him about a few weeks ago. The guy has huge hands. His coach thinks that cornerback is probably going to be his eventual position, but with speed like that, you can't sleep on him being a receiver. He's just a fantastic player. You can deploy him all over the field. I wouldn't be surprised if he's used as a wildcat quarterback this year, if he's used as a safety and also as a return man as well. His speed is unmatched, like you had said earlier, Chad. Some regard him as the fastest player in the entire country, and he's one of the top overall athletes that you'll see on the high school football circuit this season.
You cannot teach speed, and certainly when you have athleticism like that to the point that you're making there, Edwin, you got to find a way just to get that young man on the field.
I agree. I agree.
Over 50 offers from him, including those from Alabama, Michigan, and Nebraska as well. That is a look at a few of our U.S. Army All-American Bowl commits over there on the west side. Edwin, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
Starting to get cold over here on the East Coast, E. Next time I'm flying out to you. Want to take a moment to send prayers and well wishes to another one of our regional player development directors. That's D. Jenkins down there in the state of Texas. To you, your friends and family, and everyone in the region. While we're at it, also want to send well wishes to everyone in Florida in the path of that hurricane as well. Keep it locked right here, though. We're headed back out to the West Coast. Got an interview with my main man, Jacob Isaiah. We're going to go 0 to 100 with Ray Boone, and I got more top plays. Where else you gonna see this? It's the Ricardo Report's National Review, powered by Football University.
Dave Diaz-Infante, offensive line coach, FBU. San Diego Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles, and Denver Broncos, two-time Super Bowl champion. FBU is for the players that want to be the best. It's for the best being trained by the best. It's the best thing you could ever do. It's the FBU experience.
The Ricardo Report's National Review, powered by Football University. Jacob Isaiah, big-time student athlete, big-time recruit, versatile offensive lineman out there, Bishop Gorman, one of my favorite student athletes out there, and now I'm fortunate enough to have him join us on the Key Player Nation Hotline.
Jacob, first and foremost, thank you very much for joining the National Review here today, brother. It's a pleasure to have you on.
It's truly a blessing to be able to do things like this. Thank you for having me.
We'll get right to it here. You started off as a tackle. That's where I first got my eyes on you. You've now transitioned to that center position. What has been the most challenging aspect of the position change?
I'm still a tackle, but they're having me play all over the place. It's a big change, but it's also kind of relieves a lot of stress because as a tackle, you got to worry about a lot more distance and it's harder to block. But as a center guard, it's the guys right in front of you and it's easy to read and to block.
At last check, you were up to 25 offers. Again, much congratulations to you on your success on that front. The recruiting process is indeed a process, though. What have you loved about it, and what are you not so fond of?
It is truly a blessing to get all these offers, to have the talent that I've got right now. I'm so thankful for all of this. There are times where it was hard trying to get attention, and then it was like that I got a lot of attention, a lot of the spotlight put on me, and it's been a fun ride, but I gotta pick one place, and it's it's really hard. I got a lot of places that I really like.
I see the schools, the alum, they're hitting you up all the time on Twitter. Do you have a time frame for when you plan to make your decision?
I see a lot of kids like committing early because of how the signing date is moved up to December. But, I haven't really been pressured too much by a lot of coaches. And I just been kind of taking my time with the recruiting process. So I haven't decided when I want to commit yet or where to commit.
And I am certainly not here to pressure you on that. Take your time, young man, take your time. Look, I want to bring this over to the football field. You all obviously played an epic game last week. That's after knocking off the DeMatha Stags from my home region right here. Epic game last week. I want to know, what were your thoughts? What was going through your mind at that final whistle after the game last week?
It was really emotional. Our class really thought we could keep the streak going. There was also a realization that you gotta lose at some point. I mean, you can't keep a streak going for that long. But on the flip side, I feel like that we played our hearts out. It was probably one of our best games, working as a team, as a unit. I feel like we really gave it our all with all the guys that we had and all the talent and everything that we could utilize to try and beat modern day, but it fell short, and we're just bouncing back and getting ready for our next game against Miami Central.
And of course, that heartbreak that you're speaking to results from that 55-game win streak being snapped, which is a truly phenomenal accomplishment in and of itself. No doubt it's time to start up with a new streak, though. What are your expectations going into not only this weekend, but also the rest of the season?
We're preparing for Miami Central. We've already got film on them. We've got an idea of what type of defense and offense they run, and they're going to be a tough team. We picked a hard schedule. We picked the best guys, and we made it that way. And we're not going to take it lightly. We're going to really, really focus and practice. Actually, we just finished practice, and it was actually a really good day. We were really focused. We got all of our assignments, and we were technically sound. So I'm feeling like we're really, really preparing for this team.
That is what's up. Jacob, I wish you all of the best in the world, and thank you for stopping by the National Review.
Thank you for having me.
Bishop Gorman plays an unrelenting schedule year in and year out. Definitely wish those young men nothing but success for the rest of the season. And I forgive you for what you did to my DeMatha Stags. Speaking of a young man that used to suit up for the Stags, Raymond Boone, presently at Eleanor Roosevelt looking to lead this team to a state championship this season. I thought to myself, how can I get Ray out of pads and speak to him about all sorts of things that don't necessarily relate to football? We went over to one of his old stomping grounds and walked the length of the football field where no questions were out of bounds. This is 0 to 100 with Ray Boone.
Now, Ray, you are an FBU National Championship alum. Talk to me about you all's playoff run.
We won a national championship.
Ooh.
That's big. First I ever do it. Brought a championship back to Maryland. It's a big feeling for everybody in Maryland.
You all kind of put the DMV on the map as far as football goes.
Sure.
And I know you went on to be named an 8th grade All-American. What did that feel like to you?
It explains itself. Being an 8th grade All-American, all your friends. Bro, I see you on TV, that was real big.
So you were able to get that exposure from a really early age out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you to music for a second, if that's all right with you. Give me your top 5 artists of all time.
Top 5. That would probably have Biggie. Mm-hmm. Second, going Tupac.
Oh, old school.
Yeah. Michael Jackson. It'll definitely be Drake for.
Yeah.
He changed the game a lot.
Absolutely.
And 5th, probably Robert Glasper. I'm a music man myself.
Man, so what do you play the piano, right?
Yeah, piano and drums.
Oh, that's amazing. A real renaissance man. I like that. What is your favorite song right now?
Right now, Untouchable. NBA Youngboy.
Why is that?
It just models my game. I don't let nobody touch me like that. It's just always, I'm gonna go get and not get got.
I'm gonna take it to the female side of the music industry right now. If I gave you the option, Rihanna or Beyonce?
Definitely
Beyonce? Why is that?
Look at her.
Why not Beyonce?
That's wrong.
Alright, we switch this over to the NFL right now. If you had one player who you would say that you mold your game after, who would that be?
On an offensive side, Stephon Diggs.
All right.
Defense, probably Landon Collins.
I'm a Giants fan, so I love that. If you could play ball with any football player in high school not presently on your team, who would that be?
Probably Tyler Leonhardt.
Quarterback out there at DeMath? Why is that?
I mean, we just had a real good connection freshman year. Getting that back, that would be big.
That'd be major. I love that. Here's the question now. I know that you are a University of Maryland commit. The movement is in full effect. Why'd you choose the Turks?
So it was just a big family feeling, you know. I always felt like a Turk. Since 6th grade, I always wanted to go there. My grandmother would come see me, my mom, my whole family basically. I got people up there that I've been with probably 6 years old.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Last question, I'll get you out of here on this. Your squad, Roosevelt, what are you all's expectations this year?
States.
States?
No cut cards. I mean, for the last 2 years, we're in the regional final. Same team. That was one building block. This year we getting over it.
This year it stays. My man. 0 to 100, Ray Bone.
That's my guy right there. We gotta get out of here. Let's throw in just a few more top plays at the National Review.
All-world running back Ricky Slade. You know him for his speed, you know him for his quickness, but did you know him for his power? That young man does now. Ricky Slade, one of the best backs to do it, bruh. Dylan Spalding, we like to call him the Ricardo Reports logo, and this is why. One man, you get off me. You get a stiff arm, you get off me. Dylan Spalding is off to the racing. You can't catch him. You can only hope to contain him. Dylan Spalding for 6.
That's going to do it for us. Want to thank you, and especially you for joining us here today at the premiere edition of the Ricardo Reports National Review, powered by Football University. Catch us every Thursday night as we highlight student athletes at all levels all across the nation. Once again, I am your official voice of youth and high school sports, Chad Ricardo. Happy birthday, Mom.